Hi, it's Beth from the Speech and Language Garden here. The topic of this video is SLCN, Speech Language Communication Needs, how you can identify it, and some resources that I've got to help you to support the children in your setting. So, did you know that on average, every primary school class in the UK will have 2 or 3 students with some kind of SLCN, some kind of speech language communication need? Now, this is a pre-pandemic statistic, so I'm expecting it to be much more post-pandemic. Sometimes the SLCN that the children have is related to an underlying condition like autism or Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, but often it's not, and it's just solely a speech and language issue. I wanted to tell you some red flags that you can look out for in your setting for these students, and often actually you can use these red flags for the whole age group. So if you're working with children who are 2 all the way up to when they're 17, 18 years old. So some red flags can include whether they've just got poor attention skills, they're really not paying attention often in different settings. So they might not be paying attention on the carpet, and they're certainly not paying attention when they're sat at their desks. They don't pay attention very well in assembly, for example. You might have students who really rely on routines and actually refer to the visual timetable quite a lot, or they tend to copy the others instead of knowing what to do. If you're giving an instruction to the whole group or your whole class and you have these 1 or 2 children who just follow the last part of the instruction, or they look at the others to see what the others are doing and then copy them. You might have some students who just lack awareness of what's going on around them, and they show frustration or challenging behaviour. Some of the teenagers that I've worked with have had some challenging behaviours, but we realised that there were underlying speech and language difficulties, so we were able to resolve those difficulties, which had then a positive impact on those challenging behaviours. Other red flags to look out for, including whether the child or children have got immature social skills. They've just not got the social skills that their peers have, children of the same age. The children might be behaving or sounding like a younger child, or preferring to play with younger children in the playground. They might prefer to play with their younger sibling and their younger sibling's friends in the playground, perhaps because the language demands of their conversations are lower, so they're able to follow along a little bit more easily. Other red flags include whether the children are struggling to listen well during input teaching, or they might just completely miss what's said to them, and you would have to say it again to them after the input teaching, and then you would need some TA support or specialist support staff to then support that student for a third time to say, to give the instruction and say to them what they need to get on with their lesson. With regards to vocabulary, you might have some children who just know, or they use fewer words in their talking or even in their writing. You'll see that their writing is much shorter than some of the other children in the class. And then you've just got the children who just are struggling generally academically, or they're in the lower ability group. So there's a few red flags there to think about, and I think that you've probably got a few children in mind actually as I said those red flags. So what have I got to help you then? So as a highly specialist speech and language therapist with over 10 years, but I'm not saying exactly how long because it makes me feel old, but I've got over 10 years experience working in schools and working with teachers and working with children who've got speech and language communication difficulties. I've created an online course for you. It's all pre-recorded, ready to go. You just literally press play and you watch the videos, and also you can access the videos as many times as you like. So it's about an hour and a half, I think this course is for you on SLCN. I've included loads of printable and downloadable goodies for you, so you'll be able to pop them up in your staff room or share them with your team as well. So that's available on my website, speechandlanguagegarden.com, on the online courses page. There's some bonus features in there too, including the SLCN checklist. If you have a look on the resources page, in the shop page in the tab on my website, for the SLCN checklist, it's literally a 4-page checklist that you can even delegate to teaching staff or to TA staff to go through and just identify any particular areas that children are struggling with, whether it's their attention, their memory, their comprehension, their expressive language, vocabulary, social skills, fluency, or speech sounds. And you'll be able to identify any particular targets that you can then use to pop into their IEPs or their one plans, or for you to just focus on for the next half term to really support those targets, using the quality teaching and strategies that I give you in my online course. There's some videos of these on my website if you wanted to have a cheeky peek in advance. Another thing I've got is the Slcn Ebook, which is, again, a printable, downloadable thing you can just purchase off the website. That's available on speechandlanguagegarden.com. And you can use this to upskill your staff, use it for training, again, print out pages and send them home for homework, or print out pages and pop up in the staff room, or to delegate to other members of staff. Now, those two things, the ebook and the checklist, are available as extra bonus features in the course, because I want to make sure that you have as many resources as possible for helping children with SLCN in your setting. There's some free stuff on my website too, so if you want to help yourself to freebie, there's a staff skills audit tool which you can use either to give to senior leaders or just to hand out to your team to see what training people have had on your team and what their skills and knowledge are with working with children with SLCN. And then you can, from their responses, you can see where there might be some gaps in the knowledge of your team and the specialist skills, and then you can use that to find some training, probably on my website, hopefully. But you can also use the audit tool to show governors and Ofsted that you are aware of what skills your team have. So that's available as a freebie on the website under the freebies tab. And then there's also my free 5 ways to be more speech language friendly in school. It's sort of a printable handout for you to hand out to everyone on your team to make sure they're using things like visuals, calendars. Are they making sure they're using shorter sentences? Are they supporting attention listening in the classroom? And it gives lots of handy ideas and activities that you can be doing to support children in your setting. Finally, there's my Facebook page if you want to find me on there, the Speech and Language Garden on Facebook, so you can find me for lots of tips and more videos like this. You're always welcome to contact me via my Facebook page or via email, speechandlanguagegarden@gmail.com, or via the contact information on my website, thespeechandlanguagegarden.com. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.